Hi, I'm Susanna Wu-Pong Calvert of the Foundation for Family and Community Healing. We're talking about the way we think about Earth and ourselves as a way to start the discussion about maybe finding additional solutions to supporting Earth as she's going through some changes now that feel very distressing and concerning to many of us. So right now I wanted to talk about comparing Earth's body to our own. And as I mentioned before, I have a background as a biomedical scientist and educator. Spent 23 plus years really working at that and in training. And I think the metaphor of the human body and the Earth body is really remarkable and beautiful. And so I want to talk about the human body first because that's what I know the best, and I have some really interesting, I hope, comparisons to that of Earth's body. I know that as humans we tend to sort of look at our world from at a surface level, like I'm seeing the trees here, I see the water, I see my body, and part of me can feel very separate from that, and I sometimes can feel very solid and, well, I am this solid person walking through this solid earth. And but the thing is about science is that we can take a closer look at things, and even though as a human person I might look very solid, but I'm really actually a very complex organism that's made up of systems within systems. So if you were to look beneath my skin or your own skin, you would find that in addition to the skin, we have many organs in our bodies, such as our lungs, our heart, our brains, our intestines, and so forth. And they are all working together in harmony so that we may walk the earth, basically. Our muscles are part of our organs within that system, and in order for us to function at our best, each organ has to do its part in the right place, in the right time, in the right amount. We might also tend to view those organs as very solid, but if we were to take a microscope, we would see that each organ is actually its own system within itself. So it's a system of capillaries and blood vessels, fluid, different cell types, again, all working together to create the structure and function for that particular organ so that it may do its thing. Our heart is set up differently with and is comprised of a different system of vessels, cells, connective tissue, fluid, all working together to create the function of the heart. So that heart is its own system, and so are all the other organs. So again, we might then also look at some of those cells within the heart cells or the liver cells within the liver, and go, oh, that's just a cell. But the cell is also a system of subcellular parts, like the nucleus, the plasma membrane, the ribosomes, the mitochondria. It is its own system. And each of those parts, the subcellular organelles, and have to be working, again, where they're supposed to work, how they're supposed to work, when they're supposed to work, in order for that cell to be healthy and to be functional. And we can just keep going deeper and deeper. Each of those subcellular organelles are made up of molecules. Each of those molecules are made up of atoms. Each of those atoms are made up of subcellular particles, and so on and so forth. So if you think about it, our bodies are not unlike those Russian nesting dolls, right? So on the surface, here's Susanna, the Russian nesting doll, but you can see underneath that is the system of organs, the layer below that, system of cells and structures within the organs, and then within that, the subcellular, and so on and so forth. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a miraculous thing. It's a complex and interwoven thing, and no one part of it is me, right? And I can't do without any of those parts. And if any of those parts start to go off in a different direction and do their own thing, well, we don't want to march to the drummer. We want to march to someone else's. Well, it's just going to create problems for me, illness, dysfunction, maybe even death. And I am not, even within all those cells and things, even a homogeneous human, because I have, and we all do have, microorganisms or bacteria all over our skins and in our mouth, our digestive systems that protect us and also serve certain functions. Like in our guts, these bacteria help us digest and metabolize nutrients. So we are actually living in symbiosis with other organisms within our own bodies. And again, all of them are critical. All of them have to be working properly for this great big fabulous machine that is our body to work properly. So we have sometimes a tendency to just see the nesting dolls from the perspective of the outermost nesting doll, and we might forget that we're actually a nesting doll within several other larger nesting dolls, if you will. So I am like this solid person, but I'm actually in a system of other humans, not just in my little town here of Richmond, Virginia, but all over the world. And we're this system allows us to live our life the way we do. I can get clean water to my house, I can have sewage go away, I can have food, I can have transportation, entertainment, whatever. And all of those systems are in place so that we can function in the way we function on Earth. The human species is part of a larger nesting doll of that of other critters and creatures on Earth, and living in symbiotically with the plants on Earth and the minerals. So I'm here in my happy place by the James River. This is actually a creek that runs alongside. And here you could see all of the parts of nature working together. And so we're all part of this larger nesting doll, even though we don't necessarily realize it. The nesting doll above that we can't always see because we're too close. We're sort of like in the middle of the gut of the bacteria. We can't see the organism that we're inhabiting, is that of our beautiful Earth. And she's the largest nesting doll on our planet, but she's also part of a system too. She's part of our solar system, which is part of our galaxy, another larger nesting doll, and so on and so forth. And I don't know how many nesting dolls there are outside of that. That's a question for philosophers and people who are smarter than me. But the point is that just like our system of nesting dolls, the ones that we're aware of within our bodies, are so critically interdependent and need to be in harmony and balance and work together, so are we as part of the system of larger nesting dolls. We're not really separate, even though we have our own place and purpose and function and role. We're part of this greater fabric that is Earth and all of creation, however you want to think about it. And we might be focusing on the little pattern that we're in right now, but I think given the care that Earth needs right now, it would, I think, really benefit us to keep in mind all of the nesting dolls and the larger tapestry from which we are in, because for whatever reason, Earth is changing, and that change is difficult and stressful for us, and I sense and feel it's very challenging for Earth too. And regardless of the cause of it, we could either be part of the solution and provide comfort and care for Earth, comfort and care for ourselves, or we can exacerbate the problem and just make it worse. So I hope this perspective about this parallel between our bodies and our Earth body and the interdependent systems within systems within systems that we are might provide some food for thought for how you think about your relationship with Earth and everything around you.